What if one small act of kindness, performed without expectation, without fanfare, returned to you when you needed it most? Imagine a single moment, a decision made from the heart, echoing through your life in ways you could never predict. This is the heart of an ancient Buddhist teaching, that compassion toward all beings, even those we fear or misunderstand, forges invisible bonds of karma, weaving a tapestry of blessings that may one day return when we least expect them. Today, let us journey together into a story that reveals how a single unexpected act of mercy changed a man's fate years later, reminding us all of the enduring power of kindness. In a quiet, sun-dappled valley, nestled among rolling hills and whispering forests, lived a humble farmer. His life was simple, his days marked by the steady rhythm of planting and harvesting, the laughter of his children, and the gentle companionship of his wife. The village where he lived was small, its people bound together by tradition and a deep reverence for the land. Yet, like many rural communities, it was also shaped by age-old fears, superstitions passed down from generation to generation, especially about the wild creatures that shared their world. One crisp morning, as the farmer made his way through the dew-laden fields, he decided to take a shortcut through the edge of the forest. The air was cool and fragrant with the scent of pine. Birds sang overhead, and the earth was soft beneath his feet. Suddenly, a faint, desperate sound caught his attention. A low, rasping hiss, almost drowned by the rustling leaves. Curious and cautious, he followed the sound and soon discovered its source. A snake, coiled tightly, its scales glistening in the dappled light, trapped in a crude snare fashioned from wire and sticks. The farmer's heart pounded. In his village, snakes were often seen as omens of misfortune, creatures to be feared and avoided. Stories of venomous bites and mysterious disappearances were whispered around fires at night. Yet, as he looked into the snake's eyes, he saw not malice, but pain and terror. The creature's body was twisted, its breathing labored. For a moment, the farmer hesitated, torn between fear and compassion. He thought of his own children, of how he would want someone to help them if they were in pain. Gently, he knelt beside the snake, careful to avoid its fangs. With trembling hands, he loosened the snare, wincing as the wire bit into his fingers. The snake remained still, as if sensing his intention. Finally, the trap fell away, and the snake, though weak, slowly uncoiled itself. The farmer carefully lifted it, cradling it in his hands, and carried it deeper into the forest, away from the village and its dangers. There he set it down among the roots of an ancient tree. For a brief moment, the snake looked back at him, its eyes shining with an intelligence that seemed almost human. Then it slipped silently into the undergrowth, vanishing as quickly as it had appeared. The farmer brushed the dirt from his hands and returned to his work, thinking little more of the encounter. In his mind, it was a small thing, a fleeting moment of compassion, quickly forgotten amid the demands of daily life. Years passed. The seasons turned, and the farmer's life unfolded much as it always had. He worked hard, tending his crops and animals, raising his children with love and patience. His home was modest, but filled with warmth and laughter. Yet life in the village was not without its challenges. Rivalry simmered with a neighboring farmer, whose envy of the man's success often led to petty disputes and harsh words. At times, wild animals threatened his livestock, and rumors of thieves prowling the countryside kept him vigilant at night. Despite these hardships, the farmer remained steadfast in his kindness. He shared his harvest with those in need, offered shelter to travelers, and treated all creatures, be they man or beast, with respect. Still, the threats grew more serious. One autumn, after a particularly bountiful harvest, whispers reached the farmer's ears. A band of thieves had been seen in the area, targeting prosperous homes. Fear crept into the village, and families bolted their doors at night, praying for safety. One moonless night, as the wind howled through the trees, the farmer lay awake, listening to the creaks and groans of his old wooden house. His wife and children slept soundly beside him, unaware of the danger lurking beyond their walls. Suddenly, a faint sound, a crunch of footsteps on gravel, sent a jolt of fear through his body. He crept to the window and peered into the darkness. Shadows moved among the trees, figures cloaked in black creeping toward his home. His heart raced. He knew he was no match for armed thieves. Quietly, he reached for the old staff beside his bed, hoping only to protect his family for as long as he could. But before he could move, a piercing, guttural hiss shattered the night. From the edge of the yard, a massive snake emerged, its scales shimmering in the moonlight, its body coiled defensively. The thieves froze, their faces pale with terror. The snake reared up, hissing louder, its eyes fixed on the intruders. In that moment, the thieves broke and fled, stumbling over themselves in their haste to escape the serpent's wrath. The commotion woke the villagers, who rushed to the farmer's home, torches in hand. They found him standing in the yard, shaken but unharmed, the snake still poised protectively nearby. Whispers spread like wildfire. The snake had saved the farmer's life. Some saw it as a sign, a miraculous intervention. Others speculated that it was karma repaying an old debt. As the crowd dispersed, the farmer approached the snake, his heart pounding with recognition. He saw the same unusual markings, a distinct pattern along its back that he remembered from years before. It was the very snake he had rescued from the trap, now grown large and strong. The snake regarded him calmly, its eyes meeting his in silent understanding. Then, with a final flick of its tongue, it slipped away into the darkness, leaving the farmer awestruck and deeply moved. In the days that followed, the story spread throughout the village. Some dismissed it as mere coincidence, a lucky turn of fate. But the farmer knew in his heart that it was something more, a profound reminder of the unseen bonds that connect all living beings. He realized that his act of compassion, given freely and without expectation, had returned to him in his moment of greatest need. Gratitude filled the farmer's heart. He began to share his story with others, teaching that kindness toward all creatures, even those we fear or misunderstand, creates blessings that ripple outward in ways we cannot foresee. He reminded his children, his neighbors, and all who would listen. Never underestimate the power of a good deed. Even nature remembers kindness. The story became a cherished lesson in the village, passed down through generations. Children grew up hearing of the farmer and the snake, learning that compassion is never wasted, that every act of mercy plants a seed in the world. Some seeds sprout quickly, others lie dormant for years, waiting for the right moment to bloom. In the quiet moments of his life, the farmer often reflected on the night the snake returned. He understood now that the universe is a web of interconnection, each thread woven by our actions, our intentions, our choices. Compassion, he realized, is not a transaction. It needs no reward. Yet when it returns to us, it comes multiplied, in forms we could never imagine. So consider this. Have you ever experienced an unexpected blessing after showing kindness to someone, or something, without expecting anything in return? Perhaps a stranger's smile on a difficult day, a helping hand when you least anticipated it, or a moment of safety in the face of danger. These are the echoes of our good deeds, the quiet miracles that remind us we are all bound together by the invisible threads of compassion. Let this story inspire you to look beyond fear and superstition, to see the shared spark of life in every being you encounter. The world is full of opportunities for kindness, and each act, no matter how small, shapes the destiny of all. When we choose mercy over fear, generosity over suspicion, we create a world where blessings flow freely, returning to us when we need them most. If this story has touched your heart, take a moment to reflect. What act of compassion have you offered to the world? Have you ever been surprised by the return of kindness in your life? Share your story and your thoughts. Remember, every good deed, no matter how humble, is a seed planted for the future. A promise that, in the great cycle of life, compassion will always find its way home. And if you found meaning in this tale, let your own kindness ripple outward. Like, comment, and subscribe to join a community devoted to true stories of spiritual wisdom and the enduring power of compassion. Together, let us create more stories worth telling, one good deed at a time.